case for a guy preferring a low
High
body
value
count,
men
but
donated $100.
thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Men and women are different. Body count is a legit double standard. The fact of the matter is society values what's hard/difficult. Women can easily get laid, while men have to work hard to get it.
Yep.
Men visualize every man a woman's been with too.
Okay, we're gonna actually do something with this one. Thank you,
lot.
thank you, man.
Yeah.
So he says women can easily get. Okay, women can easily get laid. Men can't. Agree, disagree.
I agree.
Okay, so it's easier for women to get laid. Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Agree.
100%.
Agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need to like agree. It's a fact. Like that's what the data says, and it shows that it's out there that it is like harder on self-reported things. It is harder for men to get sexual access to women, and like that's fine. Like we're the pickier and we're the choosier sex. Have you ever heard the joke from men that nobody's ugly after 2 a.m.? Yeah, like it's real. But like when we're talking about these sex differences, we just have to be mindful about testosterone. Testosterone is a sexual impulse. We have testosterone too, but we have like 1/17th to 1/75th of the amount of testosterone as men. So like men value purity, but they also really want to have sex. Now, is it like helpful or beneficial for a man to be absurdly promiscuous and give himself sexual diabetes? Like, no. You know what I mean? But to say that, you know, men are insecure if a woman has a high body count, I think that's fair, because the men that are looking for relationships, that are looking to commit to women, of course they're not going to want to commit to a woman that has a promiscuous past, because behavior, your habits are a good indicator for how you'll behave in the future. But like, I just think that that's a really sexist thing that we do. You know, he doesn't like a promiscuous woman, so obviously he's insecure. I don't know what the female equivalent of that would be, of men saying anything like that. But, and it's also true, like, it comes down to the quality of men that you're hanging out with. Like, if you're hanging around men, like, if you hear that conversation where men are saying out loud, like, oh, yeah, I was with her, you can have her, then we need to be changing our friend groups. We cannot be socializing with, I mean, it's just, like, it's degenerate people. Even if it was a woman, like, if one of my girlfriends was like, yeah, I had him, you can have him too, I'd be like, this friendship is over because there's something wrong with you. Like, that's purely degenerate. We can't, like, be crossing streams. Like, this is inappropriate. Yeah, it's not cool. So.
Well, I think that I probably should have used a different word. I realize that the word insecure does have a negative connotation, but I believe insecurity is something every single human deals with, you know? We're all self-conscious. I'm just the first to admit it. Kanye, whatever.
What are you doing?
Like,
My ADHD cannot right now.
like, I think that it's just a fact. Like, you know, it was not supposed to be like, oh, my, you know, this guy I'm dating can't care about the last guy I dated. Like, I didn't mean it so much as a negative thing, but I think that, you know, you asked, why do you think men care?
Yo, what are you doing, Rin?
Somebody was like, Rin's, I was like doing this, and then people were like, Rin's like doing a BTS dance. So I was like, why not actually do a BTS dance?
All right.
Oh, just it distracts from the show though. But I was gonna say, like, the thing about it is, like, you're not the first woman to say it. Like, if you take time, and you could watch their content too, it is like a standard thing that when men have standards in relationships, we shame them, we shun them. When, like, if you have a brother or a father, and, like, let's say your father was dating, right? Like, you would want him to have standards. Like, that men are allowed to have standards, but we kind of, like, shame them for having them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Multiple times that phrase comes up. He doesn't like promiscuous women, and I know you clarified later with 2 or 3. But, like, there's women that'll say, like, let's say, you know, her body count was, like, 25 or, like, 35, right? So if we present this situation, the scenario, and a man comes out and says, well, that's too much, I'm not okay with that, women will still call him insecure. There's some women out there, like, she could have a body count of like hundreds, right? That would be a
but
very
at that
small
point
minority.
I don't think it's about insecurity. At that point, I think it's just like, you've, you know, done this with so many different people, you must not value it, you must not respect yourself. That's how I see it, that's how I view it. So I think the insecurity part, I won't even go over that, because I think we're on the same page. Like, that's whatever.
I think we unpacked it.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems to me that as soon as a guy says, here's what I want in a girl, here's what I want in a woman, it's almost always going to be met with, that's either a misogynist or you're insecure, small dick energy. It's always going to be met with some sort of contempt, shaming. So it's just funny. Women are allowed to have preferences, standards, and boundaries, and men are not.
Yeah. Well, I actually think it's the total, I won't say total opposite, but I think that women are more outwardly allowed to have those boundaries and standards when it comes to having sex. And that's why we said, you know, women are the pickers and choosers, but men have it with marriage and relationships.
I actually kind of disagree with that.
Okay.
Well, women control access to sex, but like most men are invisible to most women. So actually most men don't have choice either when it comes to a relationship.
Okay. Yeah, that's
now
super fair
like
to say.
top tier guys, yes, then they are the ones who decides who gets a relationship.
Right.
It does happen to be the case. It happens to be the case that most women are chasing after those top 10, top 20%
right,
men.
because we're
And
taking
so
the ones that we choose that we would
once
physically
you've-
be intimate with, and then we're looking at that, you know, small group of people and deciding who we would truly like to be in a relationship with. And then those guys have also been other females' choice to be intimate with. So then, you know, you're nothing special when it comes to their dating pool.
Yeah, so if you've said yes to them, a lot of other women are prepared to say yes to them. So they have really no incentive to commit.
So what's your dating advice? Say no? Keep saying no? Like,
well, I
what was
think
the
one,
point?
have a reasonable self-assessment of where you stand in the sexual marketplace. So